Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? First of all, thank you to everyone for coming down despite the heavy downpour today. Aren't we all glad the skies turned blue for us? Before we begin, I have a very quick question for everybody here. How many of you guys are ready to vote for the Workers' Party on Saturday? Our next question is a little bit different, but I hope you guys will be kind. How many of you guys here are thinking of voting for the PAP? How many of you guys are still thinking of who you might vote for? Well, if you have some patience with me, I want to focus this speech for a moment on not those who are Workers' Party loyalists, but on people who are actually thinking about this vote and unsure of how to tread through on Saturday. I want to speak to them, and I hope everyone gives me a little bit of patience to do so, because ultimately, this election is about all of us. It's about all of us coming together and having the same vision for where we want Singapore going. Will you allow me to do that? So the first thing I want to talk to this group about is one of the key reasons I keep hearing for why they may want to vote for the incumbent party. And the first argument I often hear is that, hey, I'm satisfied with the way things are. You've heard that, right? Let's start there. I know Singapore has come a long way. I think we all must be accepting and grateful of the journey that has taken us here. But I think the question that we should ask ourselves isn't whether we're satisfied. The question we should ask ourselves is whether we can imagine more for this country. Whether we can imagine better. Is that right? Can we imagine better? Now, in my past life, I worked with some of the biggest companies in the world. Big, dominant, powerful companies. And here's what I saw. They were excellent at what they did. They were really top of their game. But once they got there, what happened? Growth slowed, innovation dried up. They really stopped imagining boldly, and they started protecting what they had. They rewarded the status quo, not challenging, not innovating, not doing new things. Does that sound a little bit familiar to you? Now, sometimes I think of the PAP really as just a very big multinational company. They're a big ship. They move, sometimes very clumsily, but they move. They're not agile, they're not nimble. They're not able to deal with the challenges that lay ahead or creative enough to find new ways to solve them. You know, last weekend, the PAP said that there's no such thing as groupthink within the PAP. That the PAP is really like the PAP of old. Let's be honest. We can see that the sky is blue, right? This is not the PAP of big, bold, forward-looking ideas. What have you gotten instead from the PAP? Let's go through that for a second. We have a government that will essentially pay, and this is true, by the way, $400,000 to an external agency to figure out how to rename Marina Bay, and they come back with a name that is Marina Bay. Exactly. This is the same government that because they could not get Simply Go Right at their first try, we have to foot an additional $40 million while they figure it out. And you know, this is also the same government, and I know that you know, the same that I do, that the only innovation that they've found to the cost of living crisis is what? Vouchers, right? That, I think, is the imagination of today's PAP. I don't think we see any of it, right? And so, what I think they need now more than anything else is just a little hammering away from the outside, right? Let me be clear, this really isn't about the individuals within the PAP. Because even brilliant people who are put in a box can't quite do their best work. And so how do we fix that? We fix that with competition, with new ideas, with keeping them on their toes. And that's why we need every single one of you to think about voting for the Workers' Party on Saturday. Is that right? Now, the second argument I often hear from this same group is that, hey, I'm kind of scared to lose what I have. I like my constituency. I like the way things are. My response is quite simple, and this is also to the voters of Tampines. You're not going to lose what you love. The 5-year master plan, it's going to stay exactly where it is. Your parks, your upgrading, your programs, they will remain. But by voting for us, what happens? You get us as your MPs, but you also get the PAP candidates that you love to become your grassroots advisors, right? You'll still get the PA to run programs for you, right? You'll get 2 Meet the People sessions, you'll get 2 National Day dinners, you'll get 2 Hari Raya dinners, you will have double of everything. So really, voting for the opposition is this buy one, get one free scenario, and Aljunied can tell you that's exactly how it works. And you know, no matter how this election goes for Tampines, what I know and I believe will be true is that every single vote cast for the Workers' Party will ensure that the PAP works harder for you over the next 5 years, no matter what. And to me, that's great because Tampines wins. The last argument I've heard is that, hey, we're not as good as the PAP team, or we like the PAP team. Well, let's talk about the team at Tampines, shall we, for a second? We have Dr. Ong, who is ex-head of IMH. He's going to bring incredible heart to this team. We have Jimmy, who's an SME owner, who's born and bred in Tampines. We have Eileen, former diplomat, and one of the best Chinese speakers that I know. We all saw her on the Chinese roundtable, right? Wasn't she amazing? And of course, we have Mr. Faisal, who I'm sure many in Aljunied are very familiar with, who has served you all for 15 years and who's ready now to come forward and serve the Tampines community. So I'm confident that this team will make Tampines incredibly proud. So I want to end with the same thing I ended my last speech on, which is to ask everybody, if you are ready today, cast your vote for the Workers' Party on Saturday. Are you ready? And are you ready to tell your friends and family to cast their vote for the Workers' Party? Because I know and you know that we can only do this together if we all bring our friends together And that's the only way we will make a change to Singapore. Thank you, everyone. Vote the Workers' Party, and I look forward to seeing you all for many, many more years.